Live from WTVO 17 and your home team, Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Police released the name of the woman shot to death in an apartment early Tuesday morning. Freeport investigators search for a stolen car they think is connected.
Parents will have to be on the lookout for more than a cold or stomach flu this year when kids get sick. School health officials say COVID-19 safety in school starts before kids even walk out the door.
The former Chancery Building's lot has stood empty in Rockford for more than a year until today. Construction crews have started working on the future of the location, and the new project gives a nod to the site's history.
Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson. We now know the name of the woman killed in a Freeport apartment Tuesday.
The victim is Rebby Plunkett. Freeport police found the 27-year-old inside an apartment on Adalbert Avenue early Tuesday morning. She'd been shot multiple times. Plunkett died at the scene. Investigators are looking for a stolen black Nissan Altima they believe may have been involved. It has a Georgia license plate. The number is CAR 3302. Anyone with information should call Freeport Police or State Line Area Crime Stoppers. A Creston man pleads guilty to having hundreds of sexually explicit images of children. Eric Conchola admitted to having over 600 pictures on 5 different devices. In March 2018, the 27-year-old says he sent a pornographic video depicting a young girl engaging in sex acts over the Kik app. Conchola faces up to 40 years behind bars. He's set to be sentenced December 11th.
Roscoe police asked for help identifying vandals caught on security camera. Here's the clip. It shows what looks like 2 large men dressed in all black. One of the suspects walks over to the building. The video shows him seemingly doing something to the structure. It's not clear what. If you recognize this pair, call the Roscoe Police Department.
For the 3rd day in a row, Winnebago County loses residents to COVID-19. 2 COVID-related deaths from Winnebago County were reported in the last day. 120 people from Winnebago County have died from COVID. 21 more people have become infected. That brings the total number of positive tests in the county since the outbreak's beginning to more than 3,700. The 7-day positivity rate is at 3.8%.
Throughout the school year, it's inevitable kids will get sick and stay home.
But heading into the fall with a global pandemic, health officials warn parents to stay extra vigilant when little ones aren't feeling well. Dylan Saraki has more on what parents should look for to keep their kids and everyone at school safe.
Local health experts believe keeping students safe from COVID-19 starts at home. They're encouraging parents to know the signs and symptoms of the virus so they can help stop the spread.
The first step is starting at home with parents.
Rockford Public Schools Health Services Administrator Joyce Turnipseed says parents need to be prepared to screen their kids for symptoms of COVID-19.
Some of the more pronounced symptoms: fever, shortness of breath, cough, sudden loss of smell or taste, just general fatigue, stomach aches. Younger kids, they may display headache first.
Turnipseed suggests you come up with a list of questions to ask your student before school each day.
When you wake up every morning, do I feel off? Did I develop a cough? Am I just really tired that I've never felt this fatigue before?
If your child answers yes to any of the questions on the checklist, you may want to keep them home.
By coming to school, I am stating that myself as staff or my student is free of fever or any symptoms of COVID.
Winnebago County Public Health Administrator Dr. Sandra Martell continues to stress the importance of following school guidelines.
If we are intentional, if we want to bring our children back to some in-person education environment, if we rely on our school to help us provide some childcare in addition to education so we can go to our jobs, we need to be thoughtfully working through that.
Next Monday, representatives from local school districts are expected to participate in the Health Department's weekly COVID-19 update to talk more about strategies for safely reopening. We'll have it live on our website, mystateline.com. In Rockford, for your home team, I'm Dylan Saraki.
An internet giant gives more State Line kids the option to turn homes into home rooms this school year. Comcast has partnered with RPS District 205 and Freeport School District 145 to provide students internet access. It's through the company's Internet Essentials service. The program targets low-income families, bringing them online for about $10 a month. Families wanting to take advantage of the program have to enroll by a certain date. The deadline for RPS parents is September 30th. Freeport's deadline to enroll is December 31st.
Chicago Public School students will start out the year learning from home. The first quarter of the school year till November will be distance learning only. CPS staff and teachers have held several protests pushing for remote learning over the original hybrid plan. The teachers union even put a possible strike on the table. CPS parents shared similar concerns.
But the fact of the matter is, we are seeing an increase in cases. Combined with the trends that we're seeing, the decision to start remotely makes sense for a district of CPS's size and diversity.
School administrators will decide at the end of the first quarter if it's safe to shift to the hybrid learning plan.
For many, if not all nonprofits, fundraising is the lifeblood that keeps the organizations going.
With safety restrictions limiting groups from gathering and the threat of spreading coronavirus, fundraising events have virtually come to a standstill. Michelle Rave talks with another local organization trying to still raise money without meeting in person.
Nonprofit organizations rely heavily on fundraising events. The COVID-19 pandemic has forced many groups to change their strategies. Organizations like Remedies, Gigi's Playhouse, and Mother House are just some of the nonprofits that have moved fundraising events online. Remedies Renewing Lives started its virtual fundraiser Monday. Donations will help provide resources to families, victims, and anyone struggling with addiction. Vice President of Marketing Kathy Branding says the need for services has gone up. This time last year, Remedies was preparing for its annual golf outing.
We have about 130 participants, and at the Remedies Ball in November, we generally have about 250 participants. So that's a lot of individuals in the community that we rely on support from that we're not getting the support from this year.
For more information on how you can help, you can find this story on mystateline.com. In Rockford, for your home team, I'm Michelle Rave.
Grants have been one way many nonprofits have been able to keep services running without fundraising money coming in. The 8-1 Thrive initiative is handing out grants to more than half a dozen state line agencies. Some of those organizations include CASA, Northwest Community Center, and the Rockford Area Art Council. Each of the 7 nonprofits will receive $75,000 from both 8-1 Thrive and the Northern Illinois Center for Nonprofit Excellence.
Over a year after demolition crews worked on the Chancery site, construction crews are building it back up. Work on the future Our Lady of Guadalupe Meditation Garden has started. It sits on the former Mary's Garden at St. Peter's Cathedral. The battle over the Chancery building spanned months as a neighborhood group tried to save the structure. Even though the Chancery building is gone, the new project will include features remembering the property's past.
Honoring some of the bishops, the 8 different bishops who resided within the Chancery. So there'll be 8 memorial trees dedicated to each one of those bishops.
The meditation garden will be open to both parishioners and non-parishioners. Search and rescue operations are underway throughout much of Beirut.
A massive explosion rocked the Lebanese capital Tuesday. Drone video shows the devastation left behind. More than 100 people, including at least 1 American, were killed. 4,000 others were hurt. Rescue crews are now searching for hundreds of people who've been reported missing. Lebanon's prime minister blames ammonium nitrate stored in a warehouse for 6 years as the likely cause of the explosion. The blast left behind a crater the size of a football field. Beirut officials estimate the damage left behind could cost as much as $5 billion.
Local lawmakers weigh in as Americans wait on Congress to pass a second COVID-19 relief stimulus package. Republicans and Democrats do agree on some ideas. Among them, a $1,200 direct payment to most Americans. An extension to the Paycheck Protection Program is expected as well. The main sticking point is the future of unemployment benefits.
To help working families get through this difficult time, I have repeatedly called on the Senate to pass the HEROES Act. But unfortunately, their latest proposal is too little and it's too late as millions of Americans continue to file for unemployment.
I think we're getting closer. I think something will be done. It'll probably on the unemployment side, something in between, no boost to unemployment to the $600.
If a deal isn't reached soon, President Donald Trump has threatened to take action through executive orders.
Now, your first warned weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Candice King.
Nice and quiet out there this evening. A live look with our Merced SkyTrack camera out at Riverside at 90 here. A little more cloud cover today than what we had yesterday, although we've been able to see the sunshine from time to time here this afternoon. Although those few extra clouds did not stop our temperatures from climbing back into the mid and even upper 70s. We topped out officially at 79 degrees this afternoon. A few spots still in the mid 70s, and that's where most of us sit here for us this evening. Currently at 73 degrees right now in Freeport, 72 in Belvedere, 76 in Rockford, 73 in Janesville, and 72 right now our current temperature in Rochelle. Winds have not been as gusty as what they were yesterday, and again our wind will turn light here as we go through the night tonight. Our weather watcher Bob in Rockford checking in this evening with 78 degrees and a dew point temperature of 52, so that comfortable trend does continue for the next couple of days. Now we have added a little bit more moisture into the atmosphere, and that's indicated by the cloud cover we have, but we've also got a couple systems passing close by that usually would bring us some rainfall. We've got one kind of upper level disturbance passing to our south, and then you can actually see that counterclockwise spin in our water vapor imagery coming down from Minnesota and now moving into Iowa. Now typically with a little bit of moisture, those disturbances and a slight increase in some of that instability, you might get a couple of showers associated with that, but all we've really had today is just the cloud cover. You really don't see much in the way of rainfall outside of a couple spits of drizzle, a few sprinkles, and maybe one or two light showers across the upper Midwest. And that's because our air mass is pretty dry. We've got a little bit of moisture where the clouds are forming, which is why we have that cloud cover, but up above and down below, our atmosphere is very dry. So we still have that dry air in place, which will stay with us tonight and during the day tomorrow. So tomorrow will be similar to today, where we've got that cloud cover, but we really shouldn't see much in the way of any precipitation. Maybe a sprinkle and that's it. Now we do need the rainfall for August. Granted, we're only about 5 days in. We really haven't had much, if any, rain at that. So far for the entire summer month, getting meteorological summer, June 1st, we've had about 6.8 inches of rainfall, which puts us at about 2.4 inches below where we should be for this time in summer. And each month so far, we've actually ended up with below average precipitation. Now we need the rainfall. We'll get a little bit of it going into the weekend, but again, isolated rain chances and likely not a good soaking rain. If we get thunderstorms, those most likely will be some heavy downpours. You see, we build up some of that cloud cover again tomorrow, so very similar to today. In fact, I don't think we're going to lose a lot of those clouds like we did last night. Tonight, because we've got a few more clouds upstream, and that'll keep us partly sunny for tomorrow afternoon. Friday actually should be a pretty nice day. Temperatures will be back into the mid 80s, and even though we see that number warm up, it'll still feel fairly comfortable. So down to 57 degrees for us tonight. Partly cloudy skies, cool but comfortable. Another night you can leave the windows open. Same thing for tomorrow afternoon. We're back into the upper 70s. A few spots may tag that 80-degree mark, but low levels of humidity. You'll start to notice that humid feeling going up on Saturday. Could see shower thunderstorm Friday into Saturday, but I think the best chance out of the weekend will come, guys, Sunday night and then into Monday.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with Sports Director Scott Leber.
As of right now, the Big Ten Conference has a football season mapped out and is planning on moving forward with conference games. Updated schedules have been released. Each team will play 10 games, and the Big Ten season will kick off a week or two before most of the other conferences kick off. The first game will be played in Champaign. The Fighting Illini will host Ohio State on a Thursday night game. That's September 3rd. Then Friday the 4th, it's another primetime game up in Madison between the Badgers and Indiana. The other teams will play that Saturday, September 5th. There won't be any national champions crowned in football or any fall sports this year in NCAA Divisions 2 and 3. All championship games have been canceled. The Rockford Rivets baseball season is back on. Their season will resume tomorrow in Green Bay against the Booyah. They've been given clearance to play by the Northwoods League and local health officials. Last week, one team staff member tested positive for coronavirus. No one else in the organization or on the team has tested positive. The Rivets have 6 home games remaining. The next one will be next Tuesday night. Now, the Blackhawks have had an up-and-down first 2 games of their playoff qualifier series against the Edmonton Oilers. We'll see which way the series tilts tonight when they play Game 3. The Blackhawks should get a boost from the return of forward Jake Kajula. He sat out the last game after being suspended for an illegal check to the head. He says he's all for protecting players' heads. He just wants consistency in the officials' calls and in punishment from the league.
It was a one-game suspension. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I also respect the decision, and I totally respect the fact that we want to protect players' heads and safety. So, like I said, I have no issue with that. Just the consistency thing is what we're all looking for as players. We just want to make sure that we know what the standard is. So I know what the standard is now, and like I said, I have no issue with it.
Well, the Cubs and White Sox will try to stay on the winning path tonight. The Sox go after their 7th straight win at home against the Brewers. The Cubs, sitting pretty with a 9-2 record, will play in Kansas City. Yu Darvish will pitch.
Well, hang on to a few clouds as we go through the overnight tonight. Temperatures still in the 50s, but not quite as cool as what has been these past couple of nights, down around 57 up to 79 for tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow will actually be very similar to today. We'll get into the 80s for Friday. Still comfortable Friday, a little more muggy on Saturday. You'll really feel it on Sunday. The heat index Sunday afternoon could be close to 100.
It's gonna be a sticky weekend. Thanks, Candice.
And thanks for watching. See you at 6.
Stay safe.